copies of the robot online. There's also a whole lot of work there that our local radio club has done with some satellite communication. We'll be able to speak to other scouts around the continent and up into Europe and South Asia. On the next day, Subcamp 1 is going off on their activities. So they will get in a bus early in the morning and they will go to a community service location on the way to their offsite adventure. And depending on which adventure you go to, there's a few different community service activities that we'll do in partnership with local Rotary clubs. And then there are four offsite short left activities. One is caving in the cradle of humankind. So you'll abseil into a cave and spend 3 hours exploring it. And for the rest of the day, you'll be camping in a rustic campsite up in the mountains. One is a gig adventure, which is a rowing expedition where you will row 12 kilometers across the Val Dam, camp the night, and the next morning row back. The next one is a cultural expedition to Pretoria, where you will be able to camp in an ox wagon. I'm told they're a little bit cold, so you should bring a warm sleeping bag. But you'll also then get to learn about some of the experience of living the way people did on the frontier 200 years ago, including cooking some food. You will be given a traditional meal for supper. You'll learn about the cultures and the history of the country. And then the last activity is a hike in the Magaliesberg Mountains. And that will be a guided hike led by a group who have a lot of experience working with scouts. There will be some wildlife to see there. It's up in the mountains. It's quite remote. It's quite dark at night. So we'll do some stargazing for those of you, especially for those of you from the Northern Hemisphere, to see the southern sky, which is quite different from what you're used to. So those are the four activities. We're asking participants to rank them from 1 to 4, and then we're going to do our best to make the most people as happy as possible. So everybody will hopefully get their first or second choice. And looking at the voting so far, it's pretty evenly split. So it looks like we should be able to give everybody the activity they want. Thanks, Damien. Can we go back to the previous slide? On your way back from that activity, you'll stop off in the village of Modderfontein and you will do an audio walking tour there. It's a 5K walk around the village, which is interesting for two reasons. It is a very old little village that's been untouched by a lot of the development that's happened around the rest of Johannesburg. But more importantly for us as scouts, Baden Powell lived there for a couple of years, just after the end of the Boer War. And there are a lot of artifacts still there today from the time when he lived there. And you'll have an audio tour that you can listen to as you walk around there. In fact, we were in the studio yesterday recording that tour, so we're really looking forward to sharing that with you. On the next day is another off-site tour. So you will get on a bus, we'll drive through to Johannesburg, and there'll be two halves of the day. The one half of the day is a tour of Soweto, specifically Vilakazi Street, which is the street where both Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela lived at different times. So it's the only street in the world with two Nobel Peace Prize laureates having lived on it. You'll get a guided tour of both of those houses and of the street just above that where the 16th of June uprising started in 1976. You'll walk across to the Hector Peterson Memorial, which is a memorial to the people, the children who died in that uprising. And we'll then do a tour of an informal settlement that's very close by to that, visiting a community center who works in that informal settlement and learning about the work they do. The other half of the day will be in an area of Johannesburg called Newtown, which is a cultural center. There are four different museums there, and you'll be able to visit one of those four museums. One is Museum Africa, which is a municipal museum which has a large collection of artifacts. Got an old photography collection. There's all sorts of things to visit there. There is the Market Theatre, where we'll have a guided tour. There is a science museum, and there is a workers' museum, which is an early 20th century workers' compound and library that's been restored and converted into a museum. The last day of module program is has two components. One is called Vigil, which is about faith and spirituality and culture. You will have a chance here to do some craft, to write some music, to compose some music, to learn a traditional Zulu dance, um, and to have a reflective sort of spiritual reflection on the moot. The other half of the day is Veldcraft, which is about scouting skills. So this will be pioneering skills, camping skills. We will have two rafts on the water, so you'll get a chance to do a little bit of rafting, which is something that we do a lot of at Arrow Park. And then on the Friday, the 7th of August, is a cultural day. And I think we'll pick that up in more detail a little bit later, probably, Damien, talking about arrangements for that.
Yeah, we can pick up on that one later. No problem.
Alongside this, we do have some evening activities. We have some campfires, we have some games, we have, the usual sorts of sub-camp experiences that happen at night on these events. There will also be the Africa Development Village, which you'll be able to visit in your free time throughout the camp, with a series of different activities that they're planning there, and a lot of the WASM programs that you might be familiar with, like Earth Tribe and Dialogue for Peace, Scouts Go Solar, all of those WASM programs will be represented there, as well as some things from our local partners. We have a few different things there. One of the things that I'm looking forward to there is a human-powered, a bicycle-powered scale model racing track. So you have to pedal your bike to race your car around the track, and we'll have a leaderboard going so your patrol can try and see if they can get on top of that board. So that's the program, the formal program we've got planned. We are very excited. The teams have been working on this for 4 years now, and we're really looking forward to sharing it with you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, I think this is a very exciting program. Peter and his team have put a lot of thought into it, covering lots of bases that are prevalent to scouting and specifically to rovers. So really looking forward to this coming to life and everybody being exposed to it over the week that you're in South Africa. We spoke to that. Just a little bit about camp life. So we're going to be dividing into two sub-camps. There is going to be the first sub-camp will be in Yanga, which means moon, and the second one will be Letsatsi, which means sun, playing to our theme of higher and higher. You will then, within your sub-camps, be divided into the path based on, and I see we still have the one rafting one, which is not fallen away. But anyway, you'll be broken up into your paths based on what activities you're going to be doing. And then within the paths, there'll be 3 to 4 patrols based on those activities. So this is mixed patrols, mixed international patrols. We're going to try our best to keep the number of people from the same country, try and mix it up so that you're not with people you've seen. Um, I see your comment, Chris. I'll look at it now. Um, So yeah, so I think what's pertinent here and something we remind everybody is this please bring your own tents. Single small person tents are preferable. This is not going to be like a scout jamboree where you will be able to sleep shared tents because you're camping in your contingents. You're not going to be camping in your contingents. You're going to be camping in your paths. So please ensure that you bring the right tent. This will be similar to the Portugal moot where everybody camps individually. It's also important to note that from a weather point of view, that August is still considered winter in South Africa, although the days will be quite warm. So it'll be warm, sunny, dry days, but it will be cold at night. So please make sure that you bring appropriate sleeping bag and warm clothes for the evenings, um, so that we can make sure you have a comfortable night's sleep. Um, iced tea, I know there might be some iced tea on the call. You will either be directly staffed with the sub camps. So I think one of the bigger roles will be the path advisors. So every path will have a couple of advisors who will be able to assist, who will be traveling with their paths to and being kind of their mentors. Um, and then we've also got the typical staff. So teams will be running the bases in the activities team, people assisting with the media, photography, videographers, etc. Campsite teams for security, maintenance, safe from harm, etc., etc. Transport and logistics are going to need people. There's going to be people assisting with safety. There's going to be catering. Um, can you maybe mute if you're unmute? Um, and then ceremony. So I'll talk to it a bit now. The catalog for the IST roles and the selection has also gone out. So please make sure in your eyes, and it's in the welcome letter. Please do make sure you go and you read the catalog. You can see the different teams that are available, and then you can rank your preference of teams. So we're not aligning people to specific roles. We're aligning them to teams, and then you can help, you'll be able to do your role as an IST within the different um, appointments. See a lot of questions coming through. I will deal with them all now in a second or so. Let me deal with them now. Chris, the website's locked for the Safe from Harm. Thanks for letting us know, Chris. I wasn't aware. I was told it was live. It was live. It could be there were one or two grammar and spelling and some things I asked them to update. It might be that they're updating it, but please maybe I will check with the team who's working on that and make sure that the Safe from Harm course is unlocked. We'll just take a note of that. Yeah, it can get quite cold next to the water. Because we are next to the water, it makes it a little colder, and we're quite a high altitude. So do come prepared. Shouldn't go negative, but it can get quite low. Um, we have Tom. Okay, when do we learn about our IST appointment? We have one more week left for people to rank their preferences. So it's open until the 19th. So after the 19th, soon after the 19th, we'll let you know about your IST appointments. Pocket knives are, I think the training said that pocket knives with a blade less than 10 centimeters are allowed. So you can bring small pocket knives, but not like big machetes and things like that. Ordering of food for the cultural day, please send us an email directly if there's anything specific. I know one or two of the contingents have already reached out to us. So please, if there's any specific foods, and we'll talk about cultural day now in a bit, but if there's anything you need us to order for you on your behalf ahead of time, let us know and we will do that. But just send us an email for that. Locking away valuables, that is a great question. That is not something we've specifically provided for. Let us put a pin. Let's see what we can. But I think as far as possible, try and avoid bringing stuff that you can't carry with you on your person. But There isn't specific lock away things. If there's something really specific, again, on an exception basis, please reach out to us. Not quite sure if Thomas is still on the call. What do you mean by special gifts, Thomas? I think if you're looking for stuff to bring for trading, you're more than welcome. Contingent badges, little souvenirs from your country, etc., etc. You're more than welcome to bring those kind of things. In fact, it's encouraged. How many participants are we at the moment? We're about, with volunteers and everybody on site, will be about 450 people attending the event. Thanks. And then I see your note there, Tokozani, about the Safe from Harm course not sending the OTP to their emails. That is interesting. I will take that up together with the locked one. I will let the Africa, so that's been run for us by the WASM team, so I'll take that up with them to make sure that that gets taken care of. Can I ask someone on the team, maybe Rochelle or someone, just to take some notes so we can make sure we cover all these points that we need to follow up on.
Sure thing.
Olani, see your hand?
Hi, Damian. I see a lot of people from my group in Pumalanga. They're asking to be led in the meeting. They've been queuing, so could you please assist on that?
Well, there's only one person in the queue, so yeah.
I'm looking at my other phone here. It says I see two people, Patience and Te Mkajwa. They're looking to be
Yeah,
there. They're looking to be let in.
there's no one in the queue in the lobby at the moment, so
Oh,
yeah.
I'm also not seeing it.
okay.
But
I don't know
if
what's
they come
happening.
up, we will let them in as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Not a problem. Thank you.
All right. We'll keep monitoring. Thanks, Malani. All right, thanks. Great questions coming through, everybody. This is exactly the point of today's call. So if you think of anything as we go, so I'm somehow some changes on the enrollment platform with whom we can deal with respect. All right, so let me stay here. So to answer your question there, Valermino, sorry, apologies for saying the name right. So we've made that clear in previous heads of contingent meetings that it's up to the contingents to arrange their transport from points of entry to the to Arrow Park. That's not been organized by ourselves. We have, however, we do have 3 preferred bus companies that you can reach out to that we've already vetted and accredited that you can reach out to. So the problem with the registration platform is we closed the registration platform so to avoid so that we could, at a certain point, so that we could control numbers and things. So participants won't have access to the registration platform. If there's specific things, or you want to add people or remove people, that can be done via email now to Rochelle and through the email address. So it's not an open system. It was purely just registrations. So please, if there's any queries, reach out to Rochelle to resolve. All right, great. All right, I had Peter's spoken to a lot of this already, so I'm not going to repeat it. I did just want to show off the Moot bot. This is something we're very excited about. So as Peter mentioned, at the Fabric base, everybody's going to get an opportunity to build a little robot, which they can then control with their smartphones or with their phones. So, and this is something that participants will be able to take home with them and continue to program and things on their own in their own time. This is a really cool addition, and I think it's something nice and unique. This is now specifically built in a pizza box, but we all will be running little robot wars and things like this. So I think this is a really nice keepsake that all participants will be able to get. And there might be a few extra for IST to purchase as well. We can see what we can do there, Peter. Then, okay, we've spoken about this community service projects. We've spoken about the Goli tour. We've spoken about evening. Let's talk a little bit about the Cultural Day. So Cultural Day will take place on the Friday, the 7th of August. We're encouraging participants and contingents to put up a little table, a little stall to really highlight the culture of their countries. This can be anything from sweets or food or games, cultural games, maybe a little poster about scouting in your country, really anything that you want to put together, you want to bring. This is also the day that it's our open day, so we're going to be encouraging scouts in the region to come and visit. The community will be coming to visit. And so this is a great opportunity during the course of the day for us to just, share and do some cultural exchange and things. There's also going to be a stage where we're encouraging participants to come and use that opportunity to maybe do a traditional dance, maybe do some theater or put on a skit, or maybe run a little workshop and teach people a dance from your country or something like that, and really just showcase it. That will be scheduled during the Moot itself, but really encouraging you to think of something that you can do and your contingent can come, and this will come in. We're also going to be running a little soccer tournament during the day, maybe a small five-a-side. We haven't thing. We'll see, but so it's just going to be a fun day of us getting to know everybody's cultures a little bit better. Then maybe if I missed anything there, Peter, Paige.
No, I think you've got the important things. We did say earlier, if people will be able to book a slot on the stage, and people will be able to pre-order any food stuff they need on the email. Yeah.
Okay. Will there be so looking at the questions, will there be an area for storage of bag items that not be able to bring along during the shot lift activities? So I think we can make a plan. The idea is that you take your stuff with you. That's why we're encouraging participants to bring everything on their in a backpack. So the idea is that you take things with you, but if it comes again by exception, if there's things that you really need, I'm sure we can make a plan and find a safe spot for it for that one night. How would it work if IST want to go for paid activities they will propose? As far as do we have specific booking? So we will make those bookings once we're clear on where people are assigned in their roles, Quincy. We will then do the booking. So IST will be able to make their bookings when they're on site. We will do that all in person when everybody's here. Then we'll be able to know when, based on your roles and where you're going to be working. Otherwise, if we schedule your activity, but then you need to go off site or you need to do a raw job and things like that. So we will sort that out when people arrive. Talia.
Hello. So
Hi.
I just want to ask for the shot left adventure. So it is overnight camping. So for something like, do we need to bring a separate tent? So we leave one tent at Arrow Park, and then we need to bring another tent for the shot left adventure and so forth. Or do we just take what we have at Arrow Park to the shot left?
You take what you have at Arrow Park and you take it with you.
So Talia, we'll
Okay.
give you more specific detail depending on which one you go on. Two of them we will provide overnight sleeping. The one being the ox wagon,
When
so
will we
that you'll
get those details?
as soon as we find Damien, I want to say around the 19th as well when we close those. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be around the 19th.
Okay.
But I
Thank
think
you.
generally if you plan to have a tent that you can take with you, that will be great. There will be two activities where you don't need to take your tent with you, because for the gig adventure, we don't want you carrying tents in the boat because it just makes the boat very crowded. So we'll have tents set up at the overnight point, and for the cultural tour, part of the tour is sleeping in an ox wagon, so that will be provided.
Cool. Thanks. It's a good question, Talia. Thanks, everybody. These are all great questions. Olani?
Two questions. Are we going to get the program after this meeting? The second one is the a specific time frame on the 1st of August during registrations. Um,
Okay, good question. So when you so the with regards to registration, so registration will open on Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then the opening ceremony, I see there's a question there about opening ceremony. The opening ceremony will take place at 2 o'clock. So please try and arrive on site between the times of 9 o'clock and 2 o'clock on the Saturday. The program, so this is the broad stroke program. The more detailed program is really dependent on what path you're in, what subcamp you're in, etc. etc. So we'll share that yeah, after the 19th, once we're clear where everybody is.
okay, thank you so much, Tony.
All right. On the actual slide, we have presented dance on stage. Can we have details? I didn't hear. Yes, so you are more than welcome to present a dance. We'll figure out the exact timing and things like that again once everybody's on site. But yes, there will be music, there'll be a sound system, and you'll be able to play your music over the sound system and do the dance for the cultural day. Okay, good. So how do we check which service parts we have chosen? So again, once you've made those selections, you've made your preferences, we'll then let you know where you've been assigned post the 19th. There's really not a lot to do. So again, there's really not a lot. I almost want to put people's minds at ease that regardless of what shot left you're going on, what IST role you will be in, won't change your preparation of coming to site. Almost want to say. I think that doesn't take away or add any to your luggage or anything like that. But we will make sure we can share those details as soon as we can post the 19th, making sure we've had enough people fill in the form, etc., etc. With regards to the WhatsApp group, so I see there is an unofficial WhatsApp group that has been created. Thank you for whoever did that. So I will ask someone maybe to share that link on this chat. There is also then, but the official communication channel is a WhatsApp channel, which is also in the welcome letter, and we'll share the link here now soon. So please, if there's anything you need to know, you're more than welcome to go follow on both those links. Sorry, can I please ask to mute? Thank you. Great question, Chris. We haven't actually officially thought of that. So Chris is asking if IST can also depart on the same day, which would be the 8th. If you are available and you're around, we'll obviously ask all hands on deck to assist with the tear down or the takedown of the camp. There's a couple of contingents who will be staying at Arrow Park after the event for 3 days, but there's no expectation that you have to stay after the 8th, which the closing ceremony, so maybe that's a good time to share. The closing ceremony will take place at 9 o'clock in the morning, excuse me, on the 8th, and we plan to be done by 12 o'clock. So you can plan to disperse and things from there, from 12 o'clock onwards on the Saturday. Sure, these are coming through thick and fast. I'm trying my best to keep up here. Stephanie, I'm not quite understanding your question. Would you like saying it out loud?
Hi, yes.
Okay.
I filled out the job application for IST,
Okay.
the form, and then I made like I didn't check a box that I wanted to check, and I wrote an email to have that like checked, and I just wanted to know if that's like a possibility.
That's fine. I haven't seen the specific email, but I'm
sure it was
did you see it,
forwarded
Rochelle?
to Aaron, so I'm sure he will have ticked it off for you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rochelle. Thanks. All right, and I see Peter is sharing the different links and things as we go. Great. I just want to see what else I had. There's been a couple of questions on this, and I know maybe we've shared this with the heads of contingents, but I'll share this now as well because I know there are some single travelers coming from different parts of the world. So we have flags for all the African NSOs. So all the African countries, we already have a flag, but we are asking those people who are traveling from outside of Africa to please bring a flag that we can use for the flag ceremony, the opening ceremonies, etc., etc. As far as possible to the sizes that are on the screen. So 150 centimeters by 90 centimeters. So if you're not 100% sure, you're also welcome just to bring flags. It's a fun thing to have, get people to sign. So yeah, but if you are traveling and you know you're traveling alone from your country and you want to make sure that your country is represented at the flag at the opening ceremony, please feel free to bring a flag of that size. Then I think we've spoken about the IST roles already. I don't know. So in where the bulletins are and where all the videos and everything's been shared, you can find the IST catalog, which gives a little bit more detail of all the different teams and what kind of things they will be doing. And again, then it also has shares to the link where you can go and then rank your preferences. I don't know, Aaron, is there anything you want to add to? I just want to remind the IST.
Yeah, no, I think I'm fine. Just to say, if in case you're not, there's also a portion where you rank your set of skills. It's important that you do that before you select them, so that we can allocate you accordingly. But yeah, I think all the information is on the catalog, on the link.
All right, great. Yeah, so and if you have any questions, again, come through the email address. It's the best way to get hold of us. Rochelle monitors that inbox tirelessly. But I was actually curious, Rochelle, we must find out how many emails we've received so far. It'd be nice to share at some point. So great. So please. Good question here about will an IST be able to participate in the events too? So it all depends on your role. Some like if you are assigned like a path advisor role or something like that, you'll most likely travel with your path and be able to participate in the shot lefts. All IST will also be part of the Egoli tour. So everybody gets a chance to go and do the tour into Soweto and things. There are then, and I actually have a slide on it now, some other activities that will be made available that you'll be able to book once you're on site, where you can either do something like Cradle of Humankind or the Soweto bungee jumping, or you can go to the Lion and Safari Park or the Apartheid Museum. I think that's difficult to book now unless you know what roles and things you are, but we will set it up in a way that once you're on site or a little bit before you arrive, you'll be able to then tell us which ones you would like to do, and then we'll be able to organize that for you on your day off. With regards to the bases and things, I think there should be opportunity for the IST to go through some of the bases, especially Africa Development Village and things like that, as well as some of the other activities that will be on site. You're more than welcome. The IST will be having their own subcamp, and in the subcamp, they will have their own subcamp activities that they'll be able to do, and they'll also be able to take part in the plaza activities, so the stargazing, the talks by certain visitors, etc., etc. So there's outside of your job as an IST, there's plenty of things to do to also have a fun experience. Confirmation of payment from countries outside of Africa. Tom, sorry, which country are you with? I think, again, if you're unsure, speak to Rochelle. We have received most people that we've invoiced. Oh, I see Rochelle's already answered it. Never mind. Thanks, Rochelle. I'm still on the ball here. So good question as well, Chris. If you can have some sort of, so for your medical insurance or travel insurance or something like that, any sort of document and a hard copy of that document that tells us, you know, what insurance you're with some sort of policy number, maybe some sort of emergency contact numbers and things like that. That's kind of what we're looking for. Usually when you get these medical insurance, they give you like a certificate of insurance that then has your policy number and your details and your next of kin, or, you know, who to contact in the country in case of things like that. So you're more than, yeah, those are the kind of things we're looking for. That it just needs to be a one-page document, even if it's just a photocopy of a health insurance card or something along those lines. Winjoy, yes. So participants are, if you're traveling with your contingent, you are welcome to come and camp on site before the first. There will be camping facilities available. There just won't be any catering. So for 3 days before the event and 3 days after the event, you are welcome to camp for free at Arrow Park, but just be aware that you'll need to do your own catering during that time. We are closely located to shops, walking distance to shops, and things like that. If you want to go, the vendors should be starting to so there will be like a food court available on site where we'll be having some people who can provide food and things like that, and they will be setting up most likely the Thursday, the Friday at the latest. So that's also an option, but yes, participants are allowed. What else did I want to share? So there will be limited merchandise available for sale during the event. This is a very limited stock item. There are some that can be pre-ordered. You can look out for it. There were some links, but there will be caps, buffs, beanies, and mugs available. Don't hold me to this, there might even be some extra scarves available for sale on the last day. But we will be running a scout shop. We will be selling the merchandise. We'll also be selling Scout South Africa purple apparel, nice caps and hoodies and all sorts of things. Maybe some South African branded merchandise with South African flag or something along those lines. So there's some nice merchandise that can be purchased closer to the time. We'll also be running like a tuck shop / spaza shop, where you'll be able to buy chocolates and sweets and cool drinks and things like that if you want to top up on the meals that are being prepared. So IST will be catered for in the IST tent. Participants will be camping and cooking in their paths. So each path will have their own cooking tent, and you'll collect your ingredients each day, and you'll be then cooking for yourselves in your paths as part of the adventure and the camaraderie and things like that. All those kind of things will be, all the cooking utensils and stoves and things will be provided. You just need to bring your own mess kits, knives and forks, cutlery, and you're also encouraged to bring we call it like a Tupperware plastic container that you can put packed lunch in. Packed lunch is going to be a big part, and we're not going to be providing like styrofoam containers or anything like that. So please bring a Tupperware that you can put packed lunch in, and also a water bottle. There's plenty of running drinking water on site, and we want to limit the sale of single-use plastic bottles. So please bring a water bottle as well to be used on site during the adventure. What else have we got? I think I've mentioned it a lot. There's a lot of information being shared on social media. We've spoken about the WhatsApp groups. There's also there's a specific site where all the bulletins are. We encourage you to go and read the bulletins. There's a lot of information there about SIM cards, etc., etc. There's the official, reach out to us on email if you need to get hold of us, but please stay in touch. Good question. Cards are widely accepted and actually encouraged. We want to try and go as cashless as possible. So usual Visa and MasterCards are widely accepted in South Africa. American Express might hit a couple of hurdles, but most places will take it. but Visa and MasterCard will work widely. That's all the formal stuff that I wanted to share. Again, it took a lot, and we've had a lot of great questions in between. Opening it up to the floor if there's any specific questions that anybody has. Also to my team, if there's anything you feel I missed. Yes, Talia.
So this one might be a bit of a redundant. You guys have mentioned a bit about pre-ordering fresh food and so forth for the culture day. Can we have like friends or family pop by and drop that food off to alleviate the stress from your guys' side? Is that something we can organize? Or would you prefer we stick to
Absolutely.
solely ordering for you
No,
guys?
absolutely. If you want to organize that, that's no problem at all. We'd appreciate that. So yeah, more than welcome to.
Okay, thank you. Because I am from South
Yes.
Africa, so that's why I'm putting it out there.
Okay. No, that's perfect, Talia. That's no problem at all. We really appreciate
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Quincy?
Yes, actually concerning visitors who how does it work if we have someone who is coming to drop us something? How will it work at security? What is the time lapse for us to send an email or anything if we are on camp for the person to come and drop by something for us?
So Peter, is that to answer Quincy's question?
Yeah, Quincy, I think the best thing will be if you know they're coming in advance, then you can use the Hawk WhatsApp group to let us know. But the best thing on the day would be to talk to the information desk at the campsite, and they'll then let security know to expect you. I think it's going to be the most reliable way to make sure that they're ready for them.
I think that's spot on.
All
I think
right.
to just again to the security. So when you arrive, there will be certain gates that will be open that will allow buses and cars and things in. But after the first, those gates will be closed. And then the only access to Arrow Park will be through a boom gate for a security area. So it is important if you do have people come in, to let us know beforehand so we can just make arrangements with the security at the boom gate to let them in. So again, that's just part of the other security measures we're taking.
All
Access to
right. Thank you
public.
very much.
Does the camp
What
have
about the
access?
temperature? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
What about the
No, no, go.
temperature that's going on? We are seeing that it's really, really cold out there at the moment. So just to know what is the actual temperature and how it's like over there, because we are not used to that kind of temperature.
Yeah. So during the day, it will be around 20 degrees typically once the sun is up, but it can get down to 1 or 2 degrees at night. Celsius, obviously, all of these. So we generally have frost in the campsite in August still, so it is cold at night, but once the sun is up, it warms up fairly quickly. But then again, as soon as the sun starts going down in the evening, you'll need to get your jackets out again. There's a lot of range in temperature across the day.
I think it's also important to note, Talia, I'll be with you now. It's our winters are quite dry, so it won't be, we don't hold us to us. Weather patterns are changing all over the place, but we don't expect any rain. But yeah, like I said, it can get chilly. It can also not. Our winter seems to have come a bit later this year than normal. So, but yeah.
All right. Thank you. We are also not used to that kind of temperature in Mauritius. So, yes.
No, now you're just rubbing it in our faces, Quincy. Not all of us can live on a tropical island, eh? Okay, Talia.
Sorry, hopefully my last one for this meeting. Or is there facilities for charging cell phones? Will those extension cords and so forth be made available like at Kontiki? Or are we going to have to go power bank style? Is that preferred for us?
I would, so there will be a charging hub. So for the sub camps, there will be hubs, sub camp hubs. And inside their hubs, there are going to be plug points where we can plug in extension cords and allow people to charge free of charge. But what is important though is I do still recommend not leaving your phone there to charge, but rather leaving a power bank to charge and then bringing power banks to be charged. So I recommend bringing a power bank. Excuse me, I highly recommend bringing a power bank, but there will be charging facilities around the site that can be made use of. And please, I'm more than welcome to ask as many questions. Laura?
Hi, I think my question is a little bit in line with Quincy because we're gonna use to the cold weather. It's concerning the showers. Is it like hot water or cold water showers?
There will be hot water showers.
Okay,
How long they
perfect.
stay hot, it might be a question, but no, there are hot water showers,
Yeah.
heated by gas.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right.
I'm sorry,
We
we
will.
just have like winters with 24, 25 degrees, so and humid one, so we are not ready for that weather.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I understand, but it's going to be fine. Like I said, the days can get quite warm, even over 20, 23, 24. But yeah, just be prepared for the nights. I don't think, yeah. There was a question here. Does the camp grant access to public transport even on days off? First of all, I don't think there'll be days off. We've got a very full program, and we really would want to discourage people from leaving site and going and doing sightseeing and things on their own. I would encourage you, you're coming to South Africa for the Moot. We've put together a really full program, so I would really encourage people to stay on site during the Moot, stay in your path, stay in your patrols, experience the whole thing. Please don't be kind of coming and going on your own. It's very difficult for us as organizers to take, we can't take responsibility for you. And then if we're looking for people and they've gone out or they've gone things like that. So we would encourage it. If we need and you really need to, yes, Ubers and things can come. It's in the city still, so there will be Ubers and things available. But I do want to just encourage people to not come and just use it as a campsite. Come and immerse yourself in the Moot experience, and there will be plenty of time pre or post the event for you to go and travel, if you so wish. Yes, Quincy.
Yes, to know that we are part of the mood, we're gonna get the scarf, and then are we having like a badge or anything to say
Yes,
that we are either IC or anything? Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody will get a scarf, a Moot scarf, and a badge with your name, and will indicate your sub camp and your path or your role and things like that, so that everybody will be identified. And it's encouraged to wear that throughout the duration of the event. So everybody is expected to wear at least the Moot scarf every day, as is typical at these kind of events. You're welcome to wear your national scarf or whatever other scarf with it, as long as you're wearing your name badge and the Moot scarf. So you'll get the Moot scarf on the first day. This poor Nosipo is really struggling to get into this call. I keep admitting and they're just not coming through. So hopefully someone knows them and they can give the pass on this information. Are there any other questions from anybody? Yes. Sitembile.
All right. I wanted to state that I'm also struggling to let Nosipo in because I have been admitting and admitting with no success.
All right. Hopefully you know her and you can let her in. Or give her the details or something. Or Tokozani can, is it
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Anything else? Any other questions? Like I said, I will share Edvardalo. I think I've answered that already about the public transport. We also, the camp is closed to non-participants and volunteers until the Friday, if that's what you're referring to. Public can come and join. So the Friday will be the open day, and people will be paying an entrance fee to get in, and they'll have access bands, and then at the point in time, we'll be sending them home. Oh, good question, Peter.
Stephanie, let me just answer that. It has a battery, but the battery is small capacity. It should be legal to fly with that capacity on every airline I'm aware of. But the battery can also be disconnected easily. So if you need to remove the battery to be able to fly with it safely, that's not a problem. It just unclips. So it should be fine to travel with.
I've just seen the question there about bed sheets. No, so we are not providing any sleeping. Everybody must bring their own camping equipment, including sleeping bags, sleeping mats, pillows or blow-up pillows, etc., etc. So I would recommend, if you have a small, if you feel your sleeping bag might not be sufficient, so I highly recommend bringing a sleeping mat, a sleeping warm clothes, a sleeping bag, and a small blanket. I personally camp just with a mat and a sleeping bag, and it's fine. And I've camped many cold nights in Darrow Park with no concerns. No procedures to book. As a courtesy, just let us know you're coming. I will be personally living at Arrow Park a week before the time, so you just let us know so we can make sure we can let you in. If you want to arrive early. Have warm water. What? Hot water. So that's a good point. This is something I've done in many of my travels. If you'll have kettles, so everybody will be able to boil water at in their paths, in their kitchens, and then you can put them in your water bottle and put them in your sleeping bags. That's a great way to stay warm, and then you have lukewarm water to drink the next morning. But yeah, no, that I don't have a problem with that. I think people are getting maybe, yeah, I think the cold, it can get cold, but don't be too worried. I think if you just have a good base layer and a sleeping bag and some sort of ground mat, you should be fine. And a beanie. I find a beanie works well. But
It's a different kind of cold. It's not a snow cold.
Yeah, it's not a snow cold. But yeah. I think we've made everybody nervous now, Peter.
To give you an idea, we do generally have people do open water swimmers training in the dam the whole way through winter. So it is, like I say, there will be frost at night. It is cold, but it warms up very quickly once the sun is up. So as long as you're prepared for the nights, the days are going to be fun.
Okay. Great. Are there any other last questions or anything from anybody? I really appreciate everybody taking the time to join today for the many great questions. It's really fantastic. We are genuinely super excited to welcome all of you in 20 days to Arrow Park and to the Moot. I'm personally very excited. I think this is going to be a great event. There's so much and there's so many things that showcase scouting in South Africa and Africa for a lot of people. And I think if everybody just brings the BP spirit, bring the BP spirit, bring be prepared, and everybody's going to have a great time. I think just the energy of having so many scouts together is going to be contagious, and I think it's really going to be a fantastic event. So thank you each and every one of us for trusting us with this. and I'm sure we're going to have a fun time together. Thank you so much for your time today. And again, if you have any questions, reach out via email, pop it on the WhatsApp groups, or wherever you can get hold of us. Reach out to your heads of contingent. And yeah, welcome. Looking forward to it. Thanks. I don't know anybody in my team, Peter, Rochelle, Aaron, I don't see who else, Callan. Is there anything I may have missed or something you want to add?
No, just looking forward to seeing the people when they come.
Okay, good. Aaron, you good? Peter? All right. Callan, I saw you on the call. All right. No, that sounds good. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and we will see you. Oh, sorry, one more question. Yes, Nkosi.
Yes, I remember you mentioned that we will have to be at the campsite by Friday before the camp for the scarf handover ceremony. So will that day be catered for, or are we going to cater for ourselves?
I think that's a
For
contingent
IST.
question. No, I think this is Nkosi. Are you referring to the South African contingent?
Yes.
I think you need to take that up with Tokozani. I don't have an answer for that. That's a South African contingent thing, not a event thing. I think he's organizing that.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. All right. Great. Thanks, everybody. Have a good Sunday. Thanks for joining the call. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and see you on the Moot.
Yes.
Yes. See you soon.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
see you
Let's
soon.
go.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye. All right. Cool. Thanks, Rochelle.
Pleasure. See you.
Bye.
Cheers.